Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. And if this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Nicole and I am a Scrum Master. Today's topic, we're just going to talk about agendas, the type of agenda that you should include when you are scheduling your Scrum events. Again, not only Scrum meetings, any type of meeting, guys, it's very important that when you're scheduling a meeting, it's important for you to include an agenda. You want your audience to have an understanding on exactly what the meeting is about, right? What is the purpose of the meeting? If you're inviting people to your meeting, it's really good for them to understand why are they coming to the meeting, what are the expectations. So again, just make sure that you always include an agenda. So I have put together some agendas that I want to share with you guys because a lot of people reach out to me regarding this video. So here you go. And guy, by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do make sure you go ahead and do so now so you are not missing out when I post my new recording. So again, we're going to talk about agendas and how to, include them in your meetings. So we're going to start with the backlog refinement, right? So when you're setting up your backlog refinement, again, the whole purpose or the objective of the meeting is pretty much for your team to come together to focus on what is going to be coming up in the next sprint. Okay, the backlog refinement is for you guys to come together as a team, the scrum master, the product owner, the entire development team members, to look into the backlog and review the stories that are going to be possibly coming in the next upcoming spring. And the product owner is a person that probably is going to facilitate that meeting. Scrum Master can also facilitate the backlog refinement call, but you need the product owner on the call to help assist in terms of identifying the priority, the stories that are going to be coming up in the next spring. So if you look on my screen right here, these are the agenda that I would include, or if you want, you can include in your backlog refinement meeting. Again, to prioritize what needs to get done in the next spring, that's the goal. And then the team will pretty much review the user stories that the product owner has identified. Then they will ask questions for the product owner to give them clarity or just amongst themselves to just, make sure that the story meets definition of ready. So once you guys review the story and the story meets definition of ready, you can really just mark the story dev ready. Just means that this story has been refined and is ready to be pulled into the sprint when you guys get into your spring planning meeting. Again, the whole purpose again of the backlog refinement as well is to estimate user stories. So your team are going to review the stories. When they understand the story to the best of their knowledge, they should be able to come up with an estimation, right? Every story get assigned a story point. And those story points are pretty much the level of effort, how long it would take your team members to deliver their work. So just make sure that you include this as well on the agenda. So the team member have an idea that they're going to be possibly estimating the stories during the backlog refinement. And again, estimation is something that your team members can also do during the spring planning if should in case they didn't get the time to estimate the story during the backlog refinement. They can maybe, in the beginning of the planning meeting, estimate the stories. Um, Also, you guys are going to be breaking down stories that are too large and during the backlog refinement meeting so they can fit in the upcoming sprint. So if you guys estimate a story and if you're running a 2-week sprint and your team members or you the scrum master know that the story is too big for your team to be able to deliver it in the sprint, encourage your team, educate them, and let them know to split the story, right? Break it down so it's small enough so that way they're able to deliver that story in the next sprint. Now we're going to talk about the sprint planning and the agenda that you can include in your sprint planning meeting. So again, the whole purpose of the sprint planning is for your team to come together to pretty much select the work that they want to focus on for that sprint, right? So during the planning, the team will talk about pretty much the user stories that are going to be coming in the spring, and they're going to now assign those stories to team members. So the agenda that you can include in your sprint planning is to review capacity. Normally when I join my sprint planning meeting, that's the very first thing that we go through, right? I'll just go around the room with the team member and just pretty much make sure that we have a calendar where people can go ahead and update their capacity, their availability. However, if your team members have not yet updated their hours, their time off, just make sure you just go around the room and just call each team members and just ask them if they have any planned vacation, any upcoming holiday, any time off. Just so that way you guys can only commit on what they can achieve. You don't want your team members to overcommit, accept too much work when they don't have the bandwidth. We want to make sure that they only accept what they can achieve in that sprint. And also during the sprint planning meeting, the product owner now will pretty much define the sprint goal. Okay, if the product owner cannot define the sprint goal, the team as a whole should be able to come up with high level description on what they're trying to achieve in that 2 week sprint. So the product owner would help define the sprint goal and then tell the team the priorities of the stories, the must-have stories, the stories that are adding value to the business. So the product owner now will pull the stories from the prioritized list, and the team now will review each story one by one, right, to make sure that they don't have any other question. If they do have additional questions, they can ask the question during that time. Once they review the story, now, if there was a story that has not yet been estimated, the team can go ahead and estimate that story during the spring planning meeting as well. For the confidence vote, this is something I like to include in spring planning meeting. I know a lot of Scrum Masters are probably not doing this part. You don't have to, but to me, I just think it's really nice to just go around the room and ask my team members, once they have accepted all the stories and assigned the stories, I would just go ahead and ask the team, like, what is our confidence vote? How confident are we that all of this work that we have accepted today for this sprint, I just need a confident vote for each and every one of you guys. Are we going to be able to do our best to achieve this work? So I just need our team members to give me kind of like an assurance that they will do their best, they'll do everything it takes to get the work done on time. So I literally can just ask the team to either give a thumbs up if they're on camera. Everyone just give me a thumbs up if you are okay with all the workloads or everything that you've accepted in the sprint, or in a fist of five, right? Five being, yes, for sure, we're going to get everything done. One is the lowest, right? So I want my team members to give me at least a 3 and above. Just means they'll do their best to make sure that they get the work done. And then let's talk about daily stand-up. So once your spring has started, you're going to be having your daily stand-up, and this meeting is going to happen every day until the last day of the sprint, right? Again, the objective here is for the team to pretty much come together to see how their work is progressing and identify any challenges, any roadblocks, any impediments, right? Anything that could be on your way in terms of blocking them from delivering the work on time. So that's the whole purpose of the daily stand-up. And here's the agenda that you can include in your stand-up meeting. So during the stand-up meeting, each team members will pretty much talk about what they worked on yesterday, what they're planning on doing today, if they have any roadblocks, any challenges. So the Scrum Master, since you're going to be facilitating this meeting, you just go around the room, ask each person to give updates on what they did yesterday, what they plan on doing today, and if they have any impediment. The whole purpose is for us to know how things are moving with the team, how things are going, should in case someone needs some help, or should in case you have to follow up and get them some support in making sure that their work gets delivered on time. That's the whole purpose of this meeting. So it's always good to just include this in gender. So when people are coming to the stand up, they have an understanding on the expectation of the meeting. So again, during the stand up, right? So the stand up normally lasts for 15 minutes. However, I usually just schedule I usually leave the remaining time. So I'll schedule the meeting for 15 minutes, but the team can literally stay on the call for 30 minutes. So we'd use the first 15 minutes mainly to answer these 3 questions. And once the team members are done, the remaining time is for parking lot for any other topic, any discussion that they may have, anything that they would like to know. It doesn't really have to be related to the work they're doing or to the stand-up stuff. So they can just ask any other question if they have some concern about something they need some clarity on. the remaining 15 minutes, we use that to for people to ask their questions and get some clarity that they need. And if your team members don't really have anything to talk about during the parking lot, you can literally just end the meeting. But if they do, yes, you guys can just stay there and help them and get the clarity that they need. So on the last day of the sprint, you're going to have your sprint review, right? And as well as your retrospective. So the whole purpose of your spring review is for the team to pretty much inspect and adapt, right? The team comes together to pretty much talk about how the spring went, right? To see where they started and where they're at that point. So and then during that spring review, the team will do something called demo to the stakeholders and give feedbacks from the business or from whoever that's on the call. Again, the agenda here is to pretty much you revisit what you guys plan during the spring planning and the beginning of the sprint and what the team has completed and what they were not able to complete pretty much, right? And then during that call again, the team would talk about like if was there anything that got added during the sprint? Was there anything that got removed during the sprint? What was it and why? And those type of things. So just for us to have some type of transparency and understanding of what we brought into the sprint, if we had a scope change or any of that stuff, what was it and why do we why were things changing in the middle of the sprint and stuff like that. So and then the other part of the sprint review is the demo part where your team members, right, depending on who wants to do the demo, right, you talk amongst your team, if the developers are going to be doing the demo, if they have something to demo, or if it's the QA that are going to be demoing. I've also even worked in a team in the past where BAs had did the demo. So pretty much you just talk amongst your team members and before the meeting to see the people that are going to be doing the demo, just so you know who's going to be presenting during the demo. So that's another part of the sprint review, the demo part. And once the team members are done demoing, you gather feedbacks, right, from anyone that's on the call or from the stakeholders, right, all the participants, just so we know our directions. Are we doing things correctly, or do we need to make any changes before we close our user story, stuff like that. So again, here is the agenda that you can include in your sprint review when you're scheduling the meeting. And the last Scrum event, which is a retrospective, which happens on the very last day of the sprint. And the whole purpose here is for the team members to all come together amongst themselves to talk about how the sprint went, right? What went well, what did not go well, then come up with action items for continuous improvement. Okay. So if you see here the agenda, the team will just talk about what we agreed and what was achieved, right? Kind of like what went well, and then the team now will talk about what did not go well. But for the when we join the call, normally what I do, I like to have team members do shout outs to each other. I kind of like motivate my teams, and team members really love that, right? People love when you acknowledge their work, you appreciate their work. They know for sure it's not whatever they're doing is not unnoticed, right? You appreciate it what they're doing for the team. So normally when the team members join the call, I would like to just have everybody give shout outs. If you have someone specifically, if you have someone specific on the team that did something that you really like during the spring, you want to give shout out to, go ahead and give shout out to that person. All right. So normally I'll even just start. I'll just say, I just want to shout out the entire team for your effort, for your continuous support in helping the team in completing all the spring goal. So we did really well. So I just like to give shout out myself and appreciating their work. And then I'll ask the team if anyone else would like to shout out anyone else on the team, maybe someone that helped you because of this person, you were able to achieve your work on time. If you do know that person, you can go ahead and give them shout out. So my team members will just go ahead and be giving shout out to each other. They really love this part of the retrospective. When we're done doing shout outs, and then I will go into the what went well, what didn't go well during the sprint, and then if they have any action items that we identify for things that we would like to change or improve on, then we'll go ahead and record those things down. So again, this is pretty much it about the topic for today. I really just wanted to talk to you guys about including agendas when you're scheduling your meetings. Again, not just Scrum event, any type of meetings. Just make sure that you include an agenda because it's so important for people to know if they're coming to a meeting. They want to have an idea on what is the purpose of the meeting. Why are we coming here? So just make sure you include some type of an agenda while you're scheduling the meeting. Again, if you're not yet subscribed, please do go ahead and click the subscribe button. Don't forget to also click on the notification bell. And if you do have any other topic you would like me to do a video on, like you guys have been doing, messaging me and sending me all those topics. If there's something that you're struggling with, please do not hesitate to leave a comment and also send me an email. Thank you guys so much. Again, I can't wait to see you guys.